Richician!
Hey YouTube, Richician 84 here, and it's been a while since I've done a current format deck list. So now I'm profiling my small spaceship deck, or as the official name is called, Konami Arcade Games. But the thing is, there's more to the whole archetype than just the small spaceships. There's also the BS monsters and things like Space Mambo and amphibious gopher or something like that, or whatever its name is. It was something I made last year, just because those arcade games were a lot of fun, and I thought about making this deck for a while, and here it is. So let's just get right into it. So I'm playing Gradius like an absolute Chad, because why not? It's not the original print though, but it is from Dark Beginnings 1. Just wanted to throw it in because I could. Then 3 copies of Blue Thunder T45. Oh, I must also point out, in case you don't know what they do, or forgot what they do, they all have effects that go off if they destroy a monster by battle. So I'll go over their individual effects. Blue Thunder T45, the strongest one, allows me to special summon a Thunder option token with 1500 attack and defense, and it can't be tributed for a tribute summon. Not a problem, because I don't play any high level monsters in the deck. Then I play 3 of almost everything else. 3 copies of Victory Viper XX03. When it pops a monster by battle, I get to activate one of 3 effects. I can either make it gain 400, destroy a face-up spell or trap, or special summon an option token with the same stats, but it gets destroyed if this card is no longer face-up on the field. Next I play Falcon Beta, I believe that's what this is, and this lets me do one of 2 things if it destroys a monster by battle. Send a light machine with 1200 or less attack from my deck to the graveyard, or target a light machine with 1200 or less attack in my graveyard and special summon it. So it can open up for a Link or Xyz play. Then here's one that's quite fitting for me, or people in the UK, Lord British Space Pfizer. I love that name. And this lets me do one of 2 things. If it destroys a monster by battle, gets another attack, or I can destroy a set spell or trap, or I can special summon a multi-token. And then the more newer card is Vic Viper T301. And how this works is, if an attack is declared involving my face-up monster and an opponent's monster, I can special summon this card from my hand or graveyard, but if it's special summoned this way, it's banished when it leaves the field. But while it is on the field, other light machine monsters I control gain 1200 attack. That's one of a few ways to make all these guys stronger, because the big weakness of this archetype is that their attack points are very low. Not necessarily Blue Thunders, but everything else, because they only have 1200 attack. So I basically need a way to power them up so they can actually use their effects. Otherwise it's a bit of a struggle. And then 3 copies of Jade Knight. Doesn't look much like a knight, but it's still cool. While it's in attack mode, machine monsters I control with 1200 or less attack can't be destroyed by trap effects. So no Mirror Force, no Torrential, Needle Sealing, Regeki Break, all the virus cards. Of course, there's not a lot of players use those cards nowadays though, but you never know, especially in casual games. Also, if this monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, I can add a level 4 light machine from my deck to my hand, and that doesn't include itself. So basically it can search for whatever monster I want out of all these guys. And the last monster I play is 3 copies of Honest. It is a light deck, it makes sense. I could have played Solidarity in here, but I feel like it would clash with Honest and some extra deck monsters. So I'm just not too sure about Solidarity, but Honest and some other spells I play are fine. Anyway, that's it for the monsters. On with the spells. So for the spells, I've got 3 copies of Limiter Removal, because, well, this is a machine deck. It's a staple for machine decks, and I kind of need it to boost their power. Then Monster Reborn, because why not? And then I've got my trio of pot cards, which I also play in Exodia. 1 copy of Pot of Avarice to recycle my monsters, 2 copies of Pot of Duality, because I'm not going to special summon every single turn, and 2 copies of Pot of Extravagance, because I don't use the extra deck that much. Then Regeki, then 2 copies of Axe of Despair, to boost the strength of the ships, then Megamorph, in case my life points are a bit low, and finally Twin Twisters. Right, and that's it for spells. On with the traps, which is my typical lineup, let's be honest. Well, near enough. Mirror Force, Storming Mirror Force, and 2 copies of Fiendish Chain, because again, I don't have any Solemn Strikes or Infinite Impermanences going spare. This is the next best thing. And now for the extra deck. It's all somewhat generic stuff, but also stuff I don't mind. Banishing off Extravagance if need be. So I've got the Utopia package, 2 copies of Utopia the Lightning, 2 copies of regular Utopia, and I'm also playing 3 copies of Gigant X to search for my spaceships, basically. Then 2 copies of Honor Arc, and 2 copies of Castell. Yeah, this is one of the few decks that plays multiple copies of generic Exceeses. Gigantex, not so much. And for links, I have 2 copies of Nightmare Unicorn and 2 copies of Nightmare Phoenix for spinning and popping back row. And that's it for the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and a comment, share and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and let me know if you're a fan of these ships. Again, there is a plan to use these in like 1 or 2 more games before I move on to other decks in my binders. Yeah, it's not a very strong deck, but it is a lot of fun. Of course, that being said, there was that time where I somehow won a duel against Cosmo with it. Like, I don't know how I did it, but I did it, and I'm proud of myself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Catch you guys later. See ya. Oh god, I can't stop burping. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.